Okay, so let's get started with our first kinetic typography example using After Effects. After Effects is a powerful Adobe tool that allows you to take multiple files of multiple formats and compile them together while adding special effects to them. And those special effects are nearly limitless on what you can do. For our purposes, we're going to start looking at how to manipulate type while using audio. And then as we go through the tutorials, we will show you more examples of animation and how you can work with multiple audio files, video files, and external files such as other Adobe files or images. So let's get started. Once you have After Effects up and going, we're going to create a new project. One thing to remember is when you're using After Effects, you want to go ahead and close any other programs that you have running, because After Effects takes a lot of memory to run. And if you have other products open or files open, especially stuff like other Adobe products or videos going or something like that, you're going to eat up a lot of memory, and then After Effects might get a little choppy or clunky. So to have a smoother experience, I'd recommend just run After Effects while you're using it. So once you have After Effects open, you're going to see your main content window here, and as we add stuff to our project, you'll see how this will be utilized. We have our project window over here, our timeline at the bottom, and then our layers. First thing we want to do is we want to start our composition. So down here, let's click on this little icon. It looks like a little rolling film reel, and we're going to start our composition, give it a little name. And for the rest of the settings, for our purposes, we do not need to change any of this. However, we do have presets on what we can utilize through Adobe After Effects. For example, you can make 1080 and 720 products. You can even do 4K products as well. For our purposes today, we're just going to focus on 720. This will help keep the file size a little bit smaller. Now that we have our project started, we are going to come down to our timeline, and let's go ahead and add a background. Right-click on your timeline area, New, Solid. I'm just going to call this something creative like background. You can also pick a color that you'd like to use. I'm actually okay with the yellow. Click OK, and bam, you can start to see our composition come together. We have a wonderful yellow background. Nothing else to talk about yet. Let's get some more files in here. I'm going to come over here to my project window, right-click, import file, and I'm going to grab this audio file. Now that I have it in my project window, I'm going to drag it to my timeline. Now I have two layers. I have a background layer and I have an audio file. I'm going to drag my time indicator across the timeline, and you can see that my audio file stops before my background stops. We can see that our background continues on for about 30 seconds. So first thing I want to do is I want to drag my indicator to the end of my audio file. That way my project is the same length as my audio file. Let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit, and we can get that right where we want it. Looks good, right? Now, if you hold down your N key while right-clicking on this gray area, it's a little shortcut to trim your composition to the work area, and that's what we want to do. So now our entire composition is trimmed to just over 5 seconds. You can barely see, but that's 5 seconds right there. Now I'm ready to preview my audio file, make sure it sounds right. So let's go back to the beginning. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can see the full length of our. Okay, now just by pressing the spacebar, we can actually preview our project.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
All right, so that's our audio file. Next thing we want to do is we want to add our actual typography onto our project. And to do that, it's simple enough to just come up here and click the type tool. And actually, before we do that, see how I have my audio file highlighted and then above that is my background? This is an important thing to do. With After Effects, you want to make sure you follow the order that you want things to come in so that they lay accordingly onto our layers. So I'm going to select background so that my next layer will show up above my background. So now that I have my type tool selected, I can begin to type. So now we have the first line of our project. Simple enough, right?
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and type out all of my words.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please.
Now, you do not have to add it the way that I'm adding it. You could add it one word at a time. That may actually be easier because what we're now going to do is we have to break all these up so that they're all on their own layer. See right down here we have 3 layers. Well, we're going to have a layer for every single word. So now selecting my text tool, I'm going to just go through, separate all these out. And at this point, you don't have to worry about how it looks because you'll see in about a minute, we can fully rearrange everything. Come down here. Went to the wrong. Halfway done. Now we're running out of space pretty quickly, so before I finish, I want to select everything. I do not need these layers. Can I deselect those? Yes. There we go. And I'm going to come over here and change my font size. There we go. Now I can work with this a little bit better. Oh, okay. Now let's get through this. I think the majority of this tutorial is going to be me copying and pasting. I'm sure this is entertaining for everyone. And our last one. Sorry, almost last one. There we go. Okay, so now that I have all of my words, let's go ahead and arrange them. Now, we've talked before about how you want to imagine, or you actually want to arrange everything about how everything's going to look at the end of your project. And then we work backwards from there. So I'm going to arrange my words to do that. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to come down here and I'm going to lock my background so I don't accidentally start moving that. But then I should be able to select each of my layers and drag them accordingly. So let's do this. See how I'm already starting to lose some memory? Use some arrow keys here. Yeah, I'm going to purposely put these in different orders. Don't want to. So what I'm doing right now is I'm actually using my arrow keys to reposition this. Go a little bit quicker. Okay, so now that we have our images, or sorry, our text where we want it in a very oddly displayed manner, we want to sync our text to appear when it's cued by the voice.
I'm here to tell you what to do. Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
All right, so the first thing we want to do is we want to see when get actually gets pronounced. So if you go down to your timeline and click on your audio layer, and then just double tap L. When you do that, it's going to show you the audio channels. So this is a stereo format. So we have 2 audio files. And when I hit my space bar,
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
we can see the waves of when he is speaking. And get is predominantly right here. So that's where we start. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to find get, and I'm going to drag its impression to where my indicator starts. So now, when I actually start my audio, look right here.
Get it straight.
Get does not show up until he starts to speak. So we're going to follow this format for every word. Now, let me scroll down here, and I'm going to take another look at my audio file and see if it follows the same way for it.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say.
So it happens right after, which is right about there. So I go to it, same thing as before, drag it to where my timeline is. Then I come down here. I'm going to assume that this is straight, so let's see.
Get it straight, Buster.
Nope. Let's go back here.
Get it straight, Buster.
So get it straight is this entire wave right here. Straight falls right at the end. So if that's the case, I'm going to put that right there and see what this looks like. Sometimes if you don't have a dominant voice, this becomes a guessing game. So let's see what this looks like.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. Get it straight, Buster.
Yeah, so I think we're good. I'm happy with that. So we'll continue along with each of the words to sync up.
Straight, Buster.
So Buster happens right about...
Get it straight, Buster.
Yeah, Buster's that second wave. So let's start up just after it. I'm guessing that this is all I'm not here, but let's look.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to...
Oh no, I'm doesn't even start until here.
I'm not here.
So let's do that. So I'm
not here to...
and not is right after it. Pretty quick. Hopefully you are either following along or you've sped to the end because it's starting to make sense.
I'm not here to say... Buster, I'm not here to say... Straight, Buster. I'm not here to say...
So here was right about here.
I'm not here to say... Buster, I'm not here to say...
So 2 is right here. You also will find, if you're doing it right, if each of your layers are coming in after each other, like this.
Buster. I'm not here to say.
Let's say it right after it.
I'm not here to say please.
And please is actually that one. That next wave. Where's please? Please is down here.
I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you.
And then this starts our last sentence right here. Oh, we're up here.
Please, I'm here to tell you what. Say please, I'm here to tell you. I'm here to tell you what. I'm here to tell you what to.
So this is actually our new. Oh, I didn't get my tell, did I?
Please, I'm here to tell you what. Please, I'm here to tell you what.
So tell is right after it. Then we can do our U.
Tell you what to do.
And what is right here.
What to do.
Here's the last two. And then our final word was right about here. So if we did this right, we should be able to see the words come in at the right cue.
Get it straight, Buster. I'm not here to say please. I'm here to tell you what to do.
Not bad on our first run. So now that you have the timeline synced, you can go back through and manipulate your text however you want. Now there's some tricks on how to do that, and we're going to cover more of this in the following tutorials. For instance, how to align your text, how to use your rulers and guides. But for now, this is your basic introduction on After Effects and how to use your timeline and sync words with audio.